So, perfect. Okay, so Johan Steinberg, can you also hear me? Oh,
Hi, good morning, Dirk.
Morning. Hi, Johan.
Good morning.
Yes, thanks for joining. Long time not seeing you.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah,
it's a pleasure
but
being here.
definitely next year I will visit you. I have a friend who wants to go hunting in March, so I will make sure. Then he's also a big investor coming now in, and then we will drop by either in Johannesburg or Stellenbosch.
Okay, that would be great.
Okay, super. So I know you only have half an hour, so let me quickly do a very short introduction and then we can get started. So first of all, thank you very much, both of the Johans and Jaku, for really give us the chance today to join you in person and ask you some questions. So what I have today with me is my team from Switzerland, Germany, and what was it, Paraguay, I think, one of them. So yeah, it's really, and Simon, he's my leader from the Swiss group. And so I really want to give them the opportunity to also get to know you. I mean, as you know, we know us now since 3 years, but also that they really get to know you and your team. And also we have a number of questions so that you can really share a little bit of background and yeah, just do a Q&A from the leaders to you so that we understand, okay, what the system is doing and also to really make sure that the legibility of it and also talk a little bit about things like what happened with halving and so on. So this is just a quick intro. Perhaps if you can say a few words about you, Johan, and then also Jaku and the other Johan, just let's say one sentence about you each, and then we don't lose too much time, and then I would say we jump directly into the questions.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Dirk. You know, for the other guys listening, I know Dirk for roughly 3 years now, maybe slightly more. I think we met in Stellenbosch the first time. And yeah, ever since that, it's been an exciting journey.
Dirk, sorry, just one question. Can you mute Minette? It's a little bit loud in the background.
Sure. Well, I cannot.
I will mute everyone.
Dirk, you have to do it. Thank you.
Okay, so now I've muted everyone.
That's a lot better.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you know, I'm in the cryptocurrency industry or space for about 5 years now. I bought my first Bitcoin in end of January 2015. If I remember correctly, it was $185 or something like that. And prior to that, you know, I have a background in computer programming, and also, you know, I was 18, 19 years old. I ran a small network, offline networking company where we sold little booklets, books, small thin books, learning people how to save money and to work their finances. I ran that MLM for about 10 years, after which we had to close it because the local South African post office couldn't keep up with the demand of delivering our booklets. And you know, after a big struggle, we were forced to close it down. At that point, we had about 216,000 members in South Africa and the neighboring countries. And yeah, so that was a very good learning curve for me in the beginning. You know, getting out, and I've never been employed by an employer, always did my own thing. So that company, I believe, and also then later on the crypto industry, was a good foundation to build on the MTI network.
Okay, thank you, Johan. So Johan Kruger, can you also give you one sentence, please, about yourself? Wait, I can. So now you can talk.
There we go. Okay, now I tried to unmute, but I couldn't. Yeah, no, I've been in the IT industry. I was first a musician early in my life for about 7, 8 years, traveling the world playing music. Then I went into the IT industry. I was with Dimension Data for about 8, 9 years, where I was a senior project manager for them. And then also in about 2015, Johan introduced me to cryptocurrencies. And well, since then I haven't been employed. I'm unemployable because yeah, there's just nothing out there that can employ me. Yeah, and also I've been the follower in quite a few of the companies, including some of yours, Dirk, that we were involved with in the past.
Yep.
But yeah, happy to say that now I think we found our home, and we don't need to look for anything further, because with MTI we've got a brilliant base and transparency, and yeah, well, being one of the admins of MTI, it gives me the unique position to actually know what's going on before it happens, and that gives us that peace of mind for a change, that we know we're involved with something that is not going away in a couple of weeks or months or years.
Yep, thank you very much. Okay, then Jaco, up to you. Jaco, I've unmuted you, but we can't hear you.
Is it better now?
Much better.
I'm so sorry, my device is broken. My name is Jaco. I've been in the corporate industry since '92 with insurance and then banking and always client service. And we are running the Stellenbosch office when we are not in lockdown. And we will, do all the client service from the Stellenbosch office with Usher Bell. And the idea is also then to service and roll out the admin from the Stellenbosch hub. So if someone overseas would like to start a satellite office, affiliate office, and we will also then train that person that will run the admin for that particular office. So we have a Zendesk as our administrative back office system, which is very effective at the moment. We are setting up Tier 0, which is the automated system, the Q&A that will, before a consultant or admin person deal with the query, the client will have the opportunity to self-help and have links. So we are now in the process of setting up the Tier 0 process of our admin. Yeah, I've been with Johan Steinberg 4 years, been active with MTI since October last year, and from an investment background, I can promise anybody that there is nothing like this in the entire world. Yeah, that is my words.
Okay, thank you very much. So with this, I would then hand over to you, Simon, if you want to start with your questions, or whoever from your team. I mean, I have 4 questions myself, but I would first keep the words to you, and then I would focus for now on Johan Steinberg, because he has only 20 minutes left, and then Johan and Jaco, the other ones, will still stay afterwards. So if you could start with Johan on your questions, and then yeah, we have more time than after the half an hour, but at least he then needs to leave.
Yes, thank you very much. I just start with a few questions, and then I think my other team partners, they have also some questions. The most important thing for me is the trading. And me and my team, yeah, we want to be sure that there is a real trading, of course. The trading reports are very good, I think. But yeah, can we see more than this? Can we, yeah, I don't know, maybe something like a live introduction in the trading, or some links where you can see the trading history, MyFX book links, or something like this?
Okay. Yeah, sure. At the moment, I don't know if you know the background surrounding the trading and our license agreement. We are at the moment quite heavily restricted on what we can show publicly and what not. The reason for that was when we took this system live, the EA, the bot side of the trading in July last year, At that point, every member had their own account with a broker, and the bot were running on a MAM account, so the trades you could see it live on everybody's phones or MT4 platform. But since then, well, then in about 2 weeks, we found many people copying our trades using trade copier software, and then the software developers or the traders gave me an option. Either we bring everything in house so that people cannot copy the software, copy the trades, or we have to part ways. So I chose to bring everything in house so that people cannot copy it. What I will do is share with Dirk. Well, firstly, I had I think in January, end of Jan, I had an interview similar to this, where we actually did a live share of the trades. I have a recording of that I will share with Dirk, and then we can just set up a time in the next week or so to do a small session like this again, where the traders can actually share the trades with us again, similar to what we did in January.
That would be really, really great if you can do this, because I mean that also creates even more confidence. So I mean I'm super happy if Asher can send me a time, and then Simon, we could align just for a second meeting like next week or so, really go through this and then share these live meta trades.
In the meantime, Dirk, I'll make sure that you get the previous recording.
Yep. Okay.
That we did in January.
Okay, great.
So now you cannot show something, I don't know, maybe one trading account on the broker or something like this.
I don't have access to it right now on this machine. So, well, everything is with our traders. I'll have to arrange with them a date and a time. See, today is a public holiday in South Africa, so I'm not even going to bother them. If I knew a little bit earlier, then I could have arranged it.
Okay, no, thank you.
Sure.
And how can you do the withdrawals so fast with this massive growth in the last few weeks? Within 48 hours, I think you make the payouts and the withdrawals. And how can you manage this so fast? Because you have to get the money from the broker, then from your accounts to the user accounts. Is this right? And is this possible for the future also within these 48 hours?
See, one of the reasons we are able to do withdrawals without any issues is because of the low drawdown on our trading account. Let's say if we had a drawdown of 10, 20, 30%, that sometimes happen with bots, then withdrawals wouldn't be that easy and quickly to do, and also not in, I wouldn't be able to pay out all of your money if you'd like to, because most of it would be locked down in trade. At the moment, our drawdown is running at less than 1%, so that's not an issue. Our normal, how can I put this? The average time that we receive a payment from the brokers ranges between 3 and 12 hours. Sometimes it's a little bit more, but on average, 3, 4, 5 hours, then we get the payment. It's done in Bitcoin, so that's very quick, and from there we can, pay it out to whoever withdraws.
Okay, thank you. And at the moment, the homepage is the back office is a little bit slow. When it will be better and faster? Can you say something about this?
Well, yesterday and the day before, I tweaked a lot of the programming code in the back office. The performance of the website has increased, quite a lot. Some testified that I did, with just opening up your genealogy tree. It used to be 75 seconds to load the page. It's now about 10 to 12 seconds. So the performance of the site has vastly increased, and I believe it will even become more much better when we actually do get our new server. We've ordered a server about 3 weeks ago now, 2 to 3 weeks ago. But with the lockdowns, delivery is a bit of an issue. We're still waiting to get the new one.
Perfect. And how do you manage the multiple accounts? Will there be a KYC in the future? Because, yeah, sometimes multiple accounts was a killer for a company. And how do you manage this?
Yeah, you know, with us being in the Bitcoin space, I generally don't like to, to KYC. I personally feel it's got nothing to do with me as a company, who you are, as long as you're doing it ethically and so on. When the time comes, or if the time comes that we need to be heavily regulated, then obviously KYC will be put in place. For now, that's not an issue for me. And with regards to multiple accounts, I think especially for the networkers, the main purpose of that is to really take advantage or try to abuse the system. Over the last 8 months or so, we've come quite a long way to counter that. I actually have my software put up in such a way that it picks up anomalies in user behavior, so to say, where one account takes advantage of the system, and that gets flagged. So you'll see that members, well, if members do take advantage of it, try to score the additional 10% bonuses, those bonuses will simply be void in that account. So our software is programmed to pick it up and to deal with it.
Okay, thank you. And you did a change of the legal advisors. Is that right, that I've seen this?
That's right. Yeah, well, it was because of a number of reasons. I think the most important one is that Hesling Kunig, they actually still assist us on certain matters, but they cannot. We are bringing out a legal document that will make the legal process, and Johan Kruger can touch on this a bit later, that will, how can I put this, that will show the legality of MTI from a legal perspective. And with Hesling Kunig, they are also members of MTI, since the beginning. So we felt that, it might show as a conflict of interest if members of MTI is actually writing the supporting documents. That's why we went with Ulrich Roux. They are not members; they are a complete third party, and they are assisting us on especially on this legal letter.
Okay, so Alexander has raised his hand. Not sure if the question is now linked to that one.
No, it's not directly linked. Although if Simon wants to continue on that topic, I'm mostly interested. I'm the process guy. I'm process engineer from my former position before Bitcoin. Similar than what was your name? I'm sorry. Yeah, than Johan, other Johan. So my question actually goes into the process. It means when the user deposits his Bitcoins through the back office, let's say through the dashboard, yeah, I'm kind of interested in the lead time from that moment, from that point of time, reaching the broker account and start of trading. And kind of, I'm interested in the whole cash flow process, because increasing the number of people, in theory, that should get every time more harder and harder and harder to manage. And also the flow back. You touched the topic already with the withdrawal process from the broker that takes 3 to 12 hours. But how much longer kind of can the broker deal with this volume? Because I think you have over 3,000 BTC right now. you have grown in the last 2.5 weeks. That's exactly when I joined, if I'm not wrong, with 700 BTC. I think that you already mentioned your growth is starting to be exponential. And I just want you to pick up, please, on the process topic.
Okay, yeah, so when you deposit with MTI, that goes into an MTI wallet very briefly, and then within a few hours, that BTC is moved to the brokerage account. And that moving from us to the broker, it's maximum about an hour, then it's in the trading account. What we do with when we receive your BTC is, well, first of all, it gives our system, our back office, the opportunity to capture your deposit allocated to your account. And then furthermore, we have some processes in place where we actually scan the coins, you know, to make sure that it's not tainted coins. The reason we're doing that is in July last year, we did receive some, it was a little after July, I think in September, we did receive some bad BTC with a negative background. And that almost, you know, it almost damaged our whole trading pool. So on advice from our brokers, they said, you know, if we can do the scan prior to sending it to them, then we know that the coins inside the trading pool is all, you know, that everybody is happy with it, so it doesn't damage the whole pool. So it takes, the process would be you deposit to MTI, we do our thing, and we move it to the broker. That process completes definitely within 24 hours. And then as soon as we receive your BTC, MTI receives it, your funds will be live in trade on the next full trading day. So, you know, so there will be at least a 24-hour waiting period before that fund start working for you. So it's just from an admin point of view, you know, otherwise our system will have to go and calculate, you know, exactly what time throughout the day, what was open, closed trades, etc., that you get the benefit from.
Makes sense, sure.
So we work from the full, you start on the next full trading day.
Okay. And is there kind of no limits from FX Choice side to deal with the money? Because I mean, let's say 3,000 Bitcoin is something like $30 million. And is there kind of no limit for the broker to handle that amount of money? Or, yeah.
No, they don't have limits. What we personally found is that inside a trading account, we limit it ourselves to about 1,000 Bitcoin. So we run roughly between 800 and 900 Bitcoin in a trading account with them. And we have multiple accounts, you know, where we actually duplicate just the trades
so you have
onto
several trading accounts, and you always use kind of 900 to 1,000 and have a fixed lot size on the trades according to that trading accounts. Okay.
That's right. Yeah, the lot sizes per trading account with a, I think, I'm not even sure what's the exact average now, but it's about 900 coins per account. And the lot size there varies between 30 and 35 lots, you know, per trade there.
That makes sense, yeah. Yeah, okay, I think that's kind of explaining. And I think the other questions also about what Simon has about the trading and so on, but I think if we will have a meeting next week, then I think those questions I will just hold, let's say, until next week, when it's more trading related. Yeah.
If I can add something onto that Johan may have not mentioned now, is I was actually in the very fortunate position to watch the trading bot trade, because I actually got involved as admin. So for me to be 100% up to the point where I'm 100% sure of what's going on, I asked Johan, I need to see what is going on, because if somebody asks me, I can't tell him, yeah, Johan said. So Johan showed me. Every single trade that goes into that trade has got a stop loss, and has got a take profit. So no trade in that system gets placed without a stop loss and without a take profit. Now, as a Forex trader myself, that is something that we used to say, it's only careful traders that's not willing to make a lot of money that puts in stop losses and take profits on every single trade, because what if the trade goes higher? What if the trade goes lower? But that's the first thing that I saw in this spot that totally gave me the knowledge of I can relax, I can sleep at night. There's no way that the market can shoot in a certain direction and we can lose our funds. There's no way, because every single trade has got its own stop loss, its own take profit.
Yeah, I mean, you
That's
proved
right.
that.
And in addition to that, we also run on a global 8% drawdown protection. So if everything goes haywire and the account goes into 8% negative, everything will shut down. We will take that loss of 8%, and then, you know, the software developers and myself will make a call. Well, firstly, they will figure out what happened, why did this happen, do the necessary tweaks on the bot, and then we can restart it. So, you know, the worst case scenario, we can lose 8%, which in the Forex world is actually not a lot.
That's true.
I have one question on that one, Johan, because at the moment, I mean, I'm in since I think 6 months now, and we every time have seen this plus trades per day. I mean, like on Friday was a super example. It's the first time we saw 0.0014, so very low, but it's still positive. What would happen, let's say, if one day we really would see one day where we come out negative? Would we then also, I mean, this would be then pushed to the users and we see, let's say, this one day negative, or what is the plan on if this ever happens one day in the future?
Well, if there's a negative, then it will negatively impact your trading account on MTI. You know, myself and you as a member or an investor, we share the risk. So, you know, if we make a loss, then all of us take a loss. You will have a negative growth on your trading account or on your account balance in MTI for that day.
Okay.
And then obviously there won't be profits. If we do, let's say it's very bad and we close out a whole week in the negative, then the binary commissions will also become negative. You know, with that, it has never happened before, so we'll deal with it accordingly. But you know, that would be the way forward. You know, if we make a loss, everybody sharing that loss.
Which I think is fair, but it's important to know upfront. Okay.
Yes.
And at the moment, you use only FX Choice as a broker, or maybe do you take another broker in the future, or only FX Choice?
Well, at the moment, we're still only with them. I just as a bit of a background or info, I've been contacted about twice in the last couple of months about MTI mentioning their name and publicly displaying it. You know, if you Google FX Choice, they have a very good social media presence. You know, they have a very good reputation. And unfortunately, with the type of industry MTI is in, we do get some negative press and negative articles. So they've asked us nicely not to publicly go and display the names in advertising and so on, just for fear of it damaging their reputation. But yeah, at the moment we are only with FX Choice. I am currently looking for additional brokers. That you know, there's many brokers out there, but ones that can give you a Bitcoin as base currency, there's not a lot of them. So I'm really looking into additional brokers and that can give us the base currency of Bitcoin, and then also that I can trust. That's the most important thing. You know, I've been with FX Choice for about 4 years now, three and a half, 4 years. So I know the the guys. I've got a dedicated account manager. I'm very happy with them. But the idea would be in the future to have maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 trustworthy brokers that from MTI company side, we can sort of spread our risk between the brokers as well. You know, not to have everything with only one broker. But that's still a bit of a process. I haven't found additional brokers that can give us the Bitcoin option and that I can trust.
Okay, so we have one more question in the chat, which says, have there additional funding obligations? I mean, Flori, perhaps you can also speak up and give a little bit more background on that. I mean, I unmuted you if you want to talk. Because honestly, I don't get exactly what the question is. I mean, have there
maybe they're talking about additional funding options, funding the accounts other than Bitcoin. Well, if that's the question.
I think he's talking about the Nachschusspflicht, which I don't know how to translate in English.
Ah, okay. So basically, what they are asking for is, like, for some of the brokers, what you have, if you really go into negative, then you also need to pay in new money. So let's assume you have started with 1 Bitcoin and then the trades go terribly wrong and you make 110% loss. So in the end, then this 0.1 Bitcoin, which you go in negative, you would then need to pay back. So that was the question. Is something like this existing?
No, it doesn't. You know, our accounts, if it really goes that bad, which it actually cannot, because we will go out, we will close out everything at that 8% negative. That's what the bot does. But should we not had that 8%, the broker will simply do a margin call, and you know, we'll lose everything in the account, but we wouldn't have to pay in any additional funds. But you know, luckily for us, we do have that 8% safety feature in the programming.
Okay. So Alexander, you have another question?
Yes, one last question. I know the time is running. Johan, I really love South Africa. I was there in 2013 in East London. I worked there for roughly 2 years, but not on a regular. So I really want to go back to South Africa. My big question is there a chance to meet you guys and the organization, let's say, in person? Because let's say in Europe, let's refer to Germany, Austria, Switzerland, that's the market I'm dealing with. Let's be honest, everybody afraid of scams, you know, and illusions that fall apart and so on. But they do still trust their leaders whenever they deliver information, especially, you know, if you really shake hands, if you see each other, if some business is being explained in more detail, some things can be seen, like the trading for a day, let's say, and whatever, something like this, a kind of a real life experience. Obviously not for everybody, but let's say for the top leaders in the European market. Is something like this possible in general?
Yes, you can talk to Jaco Eckley and Johan Krier. They will set you in contact with Asher Bell that will organize the thing. That won't be a problem. You know, we can get together at the Stellenbosch office. I'll make sure I'll fly down there and meet and greet you guys. So yeah, that won't be an issue. Perfect, sounds good. As soon as Corona is obviously done, Stellenbosch has perfect wine. I really love the wine from there. Yeah. That's so, right. Thank you so much. Yeah, that was all from my side.
Perhaps we can just do a trip also together next year. So I said, most probably in March, I anyway need to fly there for hunting with a client. So perhaps we can just in the beginning or at the end, just do a combination so that we just get together a small team. I said, hey, let's visit the office. So I can then help also to organize the stuff.
Yeah, that's perfect. I would suggest you talk to Asher. Yeah. He'll facilitate the whole thing and do all the arrangements. Dirk, unfortunately, I have to run.
Yeah, I know.
I've got 4 minutes left to be on another call. So okay. Sorry, but I have to go.
Thank you so much, Johan, really for your time. And then I think we just continue with Johan and Jaco. So please, Johan Kruger and Jaco, stay so that we can continue with some more questions. Okay, thanks
Thank
a
you.
lot.
Thanks.
And
Bye-bye.
next
Have a
time.
nice day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so yeah, any more questions then to Johan and Jaco? Because I have two more on my list. So, but
Yes.
I keep it up first to your team, Simon, and then.
Yes, I have a question from my team partner. Is it possible to make a personal account and additional to this account for my company?
No. You mean in mirror trading itself?
Yes.
So you're opening more than one account for your company and then one account for you.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You must just remember that when you start opening accounts for companies, then you fall under the company laws and all that type of, so because the company and the private laws in most of the countries differ. So when you bring in a trust or a company or a CC or any other type of financial institution that falls under the government's regulation of the, for that companies or CCs or trusts, then you must just remember to make sure that all your documentation on that trust and funds and everything is in place.
Okay, Johan,
But that is absolutely possible.
Sorry, are there any restrictions
No. As
USA
Johan said,
or Dubai companies, are there any restrictions?
Currently, Johan didn't say there was any restrictions. I mean, we've got people in Dubai, we've got people in India, we've got people from all over the world that's in MTI. So there is no restriction on specific countries, regions. I don't know if I know that there is people from Dubai because I actually had a conversation with a guy from Dubai yesterday. But I don't know if some of the Arab countries are excluded or included. As far as I know, Johan does not have any exclusions at this point.
Okay, the problem is that the US and North Korea and so on are very often restricted at some brokers. But I have a contract with MTI, not with the brokers.
That's you see, that's the thing that a lot of people don't realize. They always ask us who's the broker.
Yeah.
The broker is a forex broker. That's it. That's all they need to know. They don't need to know who the forex broker is actually, because if you go to an investment company in your country, if you go to Deutsche Bank and you ask Deutsche Bank, where do you invest my money? Do you think you're going to get an answer?
No.
Because it's got nothing to do with you. If you don't want to put your money into Deutsche Bank, you don't put your money in Deutsche Bank. Now, because the relationship is between Mirror Trading International, which is Johan and the admins and the core group that manages it, and the lawyers and the forex broker. The relationship between Mirror Trading and the client, that's another subject.
Yeah. Okay.
For example, also with MTI, we have a lot of people also from US. And I know many other systems who say, hey, we are not allowed to go to US. But with MTI, there are people in from US and it's not an issue.
It's not an issue for the reason, if you go read the regulation in the US, last year, I don't know if you guys were involved, there was a company in the US called Crypto Bit Club. And they actually fell out under the Securities and Exchange Commission because when they received your Bitcoin, they exchanged it for US dollars and then they traded with the US dollars on a forex trading account. That's illegal. But the moment that you use a Bitcoin and you put the Bitcoin in a trading account, the Bitcoin is traded as the base currency, profits is added as Bitcoin, and you withdraw Bitcoin, there's no issue with the Securities and Exchange Commissions because there is no Securities and Exchange. It's Bitcoin in, Bitcoin out, and that's why Johan had a conversation with the IRS because there was a investigation into one of the members of MTI late last year. That was also the actual thing that he mentioned now. And he actually had a personal conversation with the guys from the IRS, and they asked Johan for some information. Johan gave him all the information he needed, and the guy from the IRS said that you are doing everything according to the right regulations.
Can I say something? Everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I want to get back to the question on trusts and companies. It's very important that you realize that your country has its own laws against what companies are allowed to do with funds. It also has the laws on trust accounts. So we as MTI, as a membership club, you can open an account for trust, you can open an account for corporate, for company, PTY or CC or whatever entity you have, but it is your responsibility not to draw us down into the troubled waters. So when the authority comes to us with a letter and say, did this member issue you the resolution or the minutes of the meeting where it was instructed to purchase Bitcoin and trade with Bitcoin, we're not asking those documents. We don't have a place to store those documents. It is something that each member must have in its own filing cabinet, so that when the authorities, for some reason, it will only be if someone in your country that was involved with the trust is making a complaint to the authorities that you're allowed to purchase Bitcoin and invest Bitcoin with MTI, and now the Bitcoin price has fallen, now they are affected negatively, they are then going to draw the authorities to your filing cabinet, and you need to produce the document for your own security and safety, and also for ours to protect us. We don't want to be involved in a fight that is something that you have done. Do you understand?
Yes. And I think the same is true for tax question. That was also something I got in the last webinar. And I mean, we know everything is legal in South Africa, but still the tax is according to wherever you live. So you still have to fill in your tax stuff according to your, whatever home country.
There you're 100% correct, because every single country, like in South Africa, for instance, tax is only on fiat currency. So there's no tax on Bitcoin. But the moment that I exchange my Bitcoin for fiat currency back into South African rands, then I become, then I need to start looking at my taxes. Some countries are different, and some countries you need to state the amount of Bitcoins that you own, and you need to reveal that to the IRS or who the tax authority is in the country. But every single country has got its own rules. So mirror trading does not work with fiat currencies at all. It only works with the cryptocurrency part. And it's your responsibility as an investor in mirror trading to actually, again, produce those documents or keep up to the legality of the country that you are in.
Yep. Okay, any more questions from one of the team?
Does MTI use only manual traders or only EAs, or what is your trading?
Okay. Mirror trading uses an algorithm that was written by traders. That according to my knowledge, has been trading for quite a few years. This trading system was not written for mirror trading. It has been actually used in practice for more than 2 years before mirror trading started using it, but it was used privately.
Okay.
So this was a private piece of software that was written by traders for the traders themselves. And then it was offered to Johan and the group of traders that the group of investors that Johan had. And then that group of investors, I think was between 30 or 35 investors, actually grew up to what's it, 22,000 people now. So yes, it's basically a trading algorithm written. It's an auto learning system that's reprogrammed basically on a daily basis. As the trades go, the traders watch it and they update the software as needed.
Is this a well-known expert advisor?
No, it's not one that's well known because it's not one that's available to anybody else in the world. Nobody has this.
Okay.
Mirror Trading has the only user license for the software. So you won't find it on any EA listing. And yeah, I've tried more than 30 or 40 bots in my life and I only lost money.
Yeah.
So I couldn't find a bot that was working. This is not a true bot. It's a trading algorithm that's maintained by the trader who wrote the software.
Yeah, they're checking it every time. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so it's basically, if you think about a bot is something that I write. It's an EA I write and I give it to you, and whatever happens on your account happens. This bot is updated with market changes, and that's why even though Friday on the Forex market, there were less than 5%, 5 to 7% of the normal functionality on the Forex markets. And on that day, normally traders are the guys that either disappear, they don't trade, or they lose money because it's a very, very bad, if there's no volumes to trade, then traders don't make money. And even on that absolute worst day on the market, we still made a small profit. Although small, we made it.
Okay, thank you.
So Alexander, you also raised your hand?
Yes. One important question, actually, I forgot that before. Johan said that he couldn't show right now the trading account and so on because he has to talk to the traders. Now, my really important question is the money going out of the hand of MTI to some trading company that you have a contract with? Or are you really have access to that account? And are you using kind of an internal managed account service of the broker so that the traders kind of, they trade your money, let's say, or the company's money, yeah, but without direct access? How does this kind of work?
As you know, if you got your MT4 trading platform, and you've got your EA that runs on your platform, you need a trader username and password to access that account to be able to trade. You cannot trade with an investor password to see what's going on.
That's right, yeah.
So the trader who has got the licensed software that's trading on that account has got the trading, the access to that trading account to enable them to trade. But that trader does not have access to the funds in that account. So he cannot withdraw from that account. That privilege belongs to Mirror Trading International, the PTY Limited company. And that all the funds, if you think about the process that we talked about, Johan said that you put your Bitcoin into MTI, MTI then puts it over to the broker. The broker actually puts that Bitcoin into cold storage. The cold storage means they are not physically trading with our Bitcoins on the market. Our cold storage is basically kept as a security or guarantee, and then they go to the liquidity suppliers that supply them with funds to trade on the market. Now, then they, of course, they take a commission on every single trade. There's a commission gets paid, and that commission then becomes the income of the broker and the liquidity supplier. So the more that we trade, the more the trader and the liquidity supplier make a profit from our trading. We take our profits at the end of the day, it goes back into cold storage. And again, if Johan needs access to the cold storage, then the broker gives Johan access to the cold storage and he can withdraw and deposit the funds that's needed. So money coming in, deposit. And if you make a withdrawal today, then by 12 o'clock tonight, Johan will go and say, we'll withdraw that from the pool and we'll supply it to you within 24 to 48 hours.
Johan, explain to them what we are trading 200x. We are supplying one of the $200.
Yeah, we currently are trading on a scale of 1 to 200 with the broker. So for every dollar that we basically, yeah, Alexander, you'll know what that means, leverage. So for every dollar that we supply, the liquidity supply actually funds us with $200 in that account. And that's why, as I heard Johan last time explain it, every 5 minutes, the trading system opens new trades. So there's a 5-minute cycle on the scalping that happens in the trading system. And at any time, there's an average of not more than 5%, as I understood, Johan, not more than 5% of capital that's in risk at a certain point. So every 5 minutes, trades will open and trades will close in the next time as the profits come in, or if the trade hits the stop loss, the trade will go away, and then every 5 minutes, there's new trades that gets placed into the system.
Okay, and one question, because I've seen everything in this 5 years myself, and I guess you did as well. And one is always hoping to find that one true company that will last forever. Let's say, yeah, you know what I mean, roughly.
Absolutely.
Money unfortunately is a blessing, but sometimes a curse as well. And I have the feeling that people start to change as well with money, unfortunately. So, what security does MTI have? Let's say, so that one of the members that would have access to the funds just wouldn't disappear with all the invested BTC?
Well, that security is easy because the only person that's got access to currently withdraw and deposit is Johan through a secure mail system set up between the broker and Johan. So you cannot hack his email so that you can send a request from somebody else. There's a security system that's set up between the broker and Johan. Johan does the withdrawals, Johan does the deposits, and the broker, his personal assistant at the brokerage. Those are the only two people that's communicating regarding that fund at the broker.
And if something happens to Johan, we hope it wouldn't, of course, but what if? You never know.
Well, if something happens to Johan, they've got the legal representatives that then steps in. Because remember, Mirror Trading International is a PTY Limited. So the company will go on, although the CEO has passed away, the company will continue, and it will then go to the subsidiaries in the control of that company. There's currently 30 founder members that also forms a part of the group of people that will at the end of the day, if anything should happen with Johan and his family, and then they will take control with the legal department to continue according to the same path that we've been going now.
Okay, so I have one more question, and I'm not sure, Johan, if you can answer this, but in May or so, we will now get this halving of the Bitcoin, where everybody expect, okay, Bitcoin price will change a little bit. Will this have an impact on our trading or anything on MTI? So let's assume worst case or best case, however you call it, Bitcoin would overnight go from 10,000 to 40,000. Would that have any impact on how the trading is gone and so on, or will that be no impact at all?
No impact at all. The only thing that will happen is the value of your Bitcoin in your account will grow. That's it. But there will be zero other impact.
Okay.
Remember, if you look back at exactly what we are doing, we are not trading Bitcoin. So the Bitcoin price will only affect what's in your Bitcoin wallet. We trade on the Forex market. So if we make profit today, we make profit. And that profit gets then put into our Bitcoin accounts. So the market will only, whether it goes up or down, it really doesn't change anything in the line of our business. Previously, with other companies that we were involved with, they take your Bitcoins, they convert it to dollars. Now, if the Bitcoin price halves and it drops down to 10,000 or drops down to $1,000 per Bitcoin, that means that company will then go under, because the liquidity of the company will not be able to handle it. If you bought a Bitcoin for $10,000, they gave you $10,000 in the trading pool, and now the Bitcoin price drops down to $1,000, they won't be able to give you the amount of Bitcoins that you now request, because now you must give them 10 Bitcoins back for $10,000 investment. And then those companies fold. The other side is, and this is what those companies were praying for, is if you bought a Bitcoin at $1,000 and they gave you $1,000 in the trading account, you make 10% per month. That's $100 a month, very nicely. And then Bitcoin's price goes up to $10,000. Then that company makes 10 times on that fund, and it's not yours, it is theirs. That's why we in MTI take Bitcoin in, trade Bitcoin as base currency, and give Bitcoin back. And that's why the fund, your fund that you invest, always stays in Bitcoin. So when you want to withdraw it, and that's why we had the question, how can he do it so fast? It's because he does not convert your funds into something else. All the other companies first had to go and buy Bitcoins or sell Bitcoins and then give you your Bitcoins back. And if the Bitcoin price dropped, they ran out of Bitcoins. That's where the problem came in.
I think the simple answer, if I may say, is all the risk on the change of price in Bitcoin is lying with the liquidity providers. They are taking the risk, not us.
Okay. Good. I think from my question, we have everything done. The only open one is this meta trading, what we want to see. So I will contact Asha to set up a new meeting then also for next week or so. So I see minutes. Hope.
There's one little question I have.
Yep. Sure.
Is there a minimum amount for withdraw money? Is there any minimum I have to withdraw?
Well, Johan's his correct answer is no, there's no minimum. But what we must keep in mind is there is a fee on every transaction that Johan currently pays from his pocket. So we ask the people not to withdraw smaller amounts. I always recommend to the guys doing a deposit, do not do a deposit less than $50, because according to the rules of the company, if you have less than $50 in that account, you will not earn any trading bonuses on that $50. You will also not earn any commissions if you have less than $100 in your account. So if you have $50 in your account, then you will start earning your daily trading bonus. But if you sign up somebody and they put in $1,000, you will not receive that $100 worth of Bitcoin as a reward. So we try to keep to a minimum of $50. $50 in, $50 out. That just makes it worth the while for Johan to be able to carry the costs.
Guys, if I can say from the admin side, I've seen hundreds of tickets, support tickets. People ask questions, people do things. What I can summarize is the people that's wasting their own time is playing with amounts between $50 and $100. The teams that are very serious about this as an investment opportunity are telling all their members that they only deal with $200, because if you look at the P1 bonus, it will only kick in when you are signing up a downline, and he signed up 2 people with $200 each. So binary only qualifies at $200. So I would suggest that you try not to say, even if it's not the company's rule, is that you must always think in your brain that you must sign up new members for $200, because I tell my friends in South Africa, if you're going to bring me less than $200, I don't have time to sit with you for an hour or two and help you through the process. It is just too tedious to play around with $50 or $100. It's just personal opinion. It's not official opinion, it's personal opinion.
Yeah, Johan also always put it this way. He says, we know that there's been many of these companies promising things and then disappearing after a while. So that's why he said, if you do not trust the company, put in $100. Let the $100 grow, and then you withdraw what you want. Either everything or pieces of it or what you want. You need to trust the company. You need to do your due diligence. There's a lot of people out there on Facebook and YouTube and these that I had 4 new posts that people have got no knowledge of MTI, and now they come with their statements saying that Johan doesn't have any trading experience. Johan doesn't need trading experience. He's not a trader. He's an IT specialist and a business owner. The next thing is they say, yeah, because it's South African registered company, we need to register under the FSCA, which is the South African Financial Board. The company does not need to be registered there because we don't deal with South African rands. We fall under another regulation in this country that is stated by the banking system to say that Bitcoin is not seen as a financial instrument, but it's seen as a token-based asset and therefore not regulated. If it's not regulated, you don't need to register with the regulation bodies in South Africa. So there's a lot of things that the people are saying, but they don't have the knowledge or the understanding of how it works. It's just because of a trader, for instance, that says, yeah, but I'm a trader and I need to be registered at the FSCA. That is correct. If you trade in Forex, you need to be registered with the FSCA if you want to trade for other people. But in the case of mirror trading, we are trading on Bitcoin in Belize, and we do not trade on fiat currencies. And that takes us out of certain of the questions. So a lot of your people are going to send you these let's call it, people who say MTI is a scam. Now, if they start with MTI as a scam, the first thing you need to do is do your due diligence. I can send you all the the regulation documents that you can read yourself to understand how our South African government looks at the cryptocurrency industry. If they change their regulation, then the way that we operate will most probably change. But until they do, we are fully regulated.
And Dirk, you will see a lot of these people that say we are a scam are advertising their own bots or own programs.
I know.
It's so stupid.
Typical network marketing, yeah. It's like, this is just, they advertise mirror trading is a scam to draw people into their scams that's actually registering at the bottom. So,
they say,
I mean, that's network marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've seen Ignatius has also raised the hand. So you have hit me with the Minette's phone.
Hi, Dirk. Hi, everyone. Thanks for your input, Johan and Jaco. Now, I was just wanted to comment on the minimum, suggested minimum, which is, Johan had said, is 10%, is the $100. If you have $100 or more, then you are due to receive a 10% referral, but not the binary. So for the binary for you to gain from the binary, you need to be personally investing $200.
Yeah.
And also P1 bonus. You need $200 each, left and right.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So the next one I see, Alexander, you have also raised the hand.
Yes, I just muted the mic, forgot to unmute. Yes, one question. The company registered and registered, not regulated, but registered in South Africa. Is there any documents? Because I tried to Google that registration number in South Africa and so on. I can't find anything, which at first is always good, yeah, because plenty of other, as you just said, plenty of scams have always their documents in the homepage. And I think it's good that you don't have that, but I think it's anyhow not bad, you know, kind of to see the whole legal basis, the registration form and so on. Would be really nice to also see that Johan is the CEO of that and so on. It's kind of a bit to make it easier also for people to kind of, you know, gain the trust on everything.
Give me 1 second, then I'll actually load you the link that you can look at the registration. There's one thing that's going to change soon, and that's the registered address. When the company started in April 2019, they used the office.
While Johan is looking, can I just please
Yeah.
put a request out to all the leaders? We see many teams now building, and sometimes they tell their downline members, just send your things to support, they will sort it out. Since October, we've done 48,000 deposits into our system, of which all of them was done by the members or the leaders, the sponsor, meaning the ad funds. So we're getting regularly now, these days we're getting support tickets, please load my Bitcoin. We're not loading Bitcoin. We've never loaded Bitcoin. The Bitcoin loading must happen by the member itself. There's videos on tutorial. If you want to translate, Dirk, maybe some videos, it will be a good idea in German, is that the member must load their own Bitcoin, or they must use the help of the sponsor. You know that MTI has got no offices. We have a support offices, yes, here and there, but the offices like banks, traditionally bank will have an office where you can go and you can get the assistance from the bank. We do not use that process. We use the process of affiliate sponsorship. So the sponsor is the responsible person and also is the person that gets paid to assist the member of getting their deposits and the withdrawal processes under the knee, and also minor things like telephone numbers and addresses. The members can load themselves, their own IDs, their own selfies. Support is basically there. If there's a problem of any kind, then we help our customers. I hope my message is received very positively and that everybody understands where I'm coming from. I'm closing off by saying support at MTI, mymticlub.com, is not there for deposits and withdrawals. That is the job of each member to understand and learn the process, and also of the sponsor who signed up that member. That is on my heart to share with you.
And Jaco, I'm fully with you. I mean, that's why we are really here as leaders, to help our people, to train them. And I mean, I have so many calls also with my members to really go through the process, like adding funds and so on, and sometimes even doing it together with them for the first time. But I'm fully with you. I mean, that's up to us and not the support.
Dirk, I also thank you very much. I see that you understand fully. If you had to send a WhatsApp to Ignatius, say, Ignatius, this is the ticket number. Can you ask someone to sort it out? We will help anytime. We cannot give our phone numbers. We are only 4 people in the admin at the moment. We cannot give our phone numbers out. We will get calls all day, 24 hours. So, but if you have an issue that maybe you feel the ticket should have been sorted out by now and the member is complaining, get the ticket number, send Ignatius a short WhatsApp. You could just WhatsApp the ticket number and we will come back as soon as we can.
Okay, thank you.
I'm almost there.
Okay, good. Perhaps then if you're not yet there, I have one more question from the chat. So there was a question: what kind of strategy our bot is using? Is it scalping, swing, hedge trading, something like this? What one of you can elaborate on?
Scalping. It's using a very, very tight scalping, a 5-minute scalping method. I've done scalping myself, and I promise you it's a hair-raising experience. It's a lot of money, quick money, but but doing 5-minute scalping on 28 pairs, that's the other thing. It actually trades 28 pairs at the same time scalping. So me as a trader, I could never scalp more than about 2 to 3 pairs at a time, because you need to really watch yourself. Where the system trades 28 pairs at the same time, and it scalps every 5 minutes.
Okay, so Mike, does this answer your question? Okay, I think so. No feedback is positive.
I'm trying to, would I be able to share my screen with you guys?
Yeah, sure. Just click on Bildschirm share screen.
Okay,
I don't know what the English word.
Okay. There we go. Okay. I'm trying to, I can't send you the link as you see in the top, but it says it's Enterprise Services.
Or you can send it in the chat. You can just put it in the chat. Or just keep it like this and I type it in the chat.
Okay.
Just stay on the side. Just double check I'm correct. eservices.cipc.za. Okay, I pinged it to everyone. And then
Okay.
also the enterprise
And
number. Let me also.
The enterprise number, K2019 205570.
Yep, also send it.
Perfect. Okay. Because then you can find all you simply need to do is just click on search enterprise, continue to search, and then you'll find this is the CIPC. Now, as you can see, that address currently that's in there was the address that they entered for the first office. But since the offices, the main administration offices moved down to number 43 Plain Street in Stellenbosch, and the request to the CIPC is already in for change, but that takes anything from 7 to 14 days, hopefully within the lockdown. Otherwise, it will just stay on this address for a little while.
Okay.
Can I add more detail to the question on the trading? Because I listened to what Johan said in another Zoom call we had the other day. I myself don't fully understand the technicals of trading, but he said to the person that asked the question is that normally our trading system is programmed to have a 20 pip stop loss and around 6 pip take profit setup. No trade will start unless the program has found the perfect stop loss and take profit. So the system is designed to calculate those before it enters into a trade. Something also that is very positive for me, because I feel that Johan has given the impression that the trading guys are very, very happy with MTI at the moment. Their payment for March, end of March, was 83 Bitcoin. I remember in January, he made a notice that our traders received 4 Bitcoin for December, and they were very happy. If that gives
and
you
I
an
know,
idea.
I mean, when they also changed it, I mean, in the past, I mean, Simon, all you joined later, but in the beginning, it was like 30% went to the traders. And in the meantime, now it was changed that they only get 25% and 5% goes into this leadership pool, where we're now paying these P1 and P2 levels. And the agreement was that by April, there needs to be 1,000 Bitcoin in the pool. And this was what the traders agreed. And they did it back, I think in Jan or Feb already. So where we were much below the 1,000, but they really trusted, and they already changed it then, because they said, yes, we trust you that you make it in April to 1,000 Bitcoin. And I mean, if you look today, I mean, now on the 13th of April, I think we had like 3,000 nearly. And so this is also what really the trust shows. And also that you really can talk to the trader, and they really were okay already to give up 5% of their profit. But in the end, knowing that even with the 25% they get now, I mean, with 3,000 Bitcoin and even growing like hell, I mean, they still make a lot of profit.
Yeah. I can add something more that is maybe of interest to you guys. Is one of the top leaders when we were in Stellenbosch months ago. He asked Johan if he brings his whole network, he might be in a position to inject 5,000 Bitcoin in a very short period of time. And his question to Johan was, how would I know for sure that you'll be able and in a position to pay my 10% referral commission? And Johan's answer was very simple. The lawyers have confirmation. He has 600 of his own Bitcoin in trust for days like that.
Okay, that's great. Good. So any more questions from anyone?
Yes, I have one more question. Do you have some nice pictures from inside or outside the offices?
Stellenbosch office, we were still busy building the inside, and we were put on hold. We've ordered all the equipment and the furniture. It is only be delivered towards the end of this month. And I suppose with our president putting lockdown further 2 weeks, we will only be end of May. I think we'll be in a position to have it all, put together, and we all work from home at the moment.
Yeah.
I think it's all around the world.
Hopefully that will soon be in place.
I know the guys, Gary and what's Troy, they are from the Crypto Analyzer and the Satoshi show. They've done some interviews with Johan. They're coming down to Stellenbosch. I'm not sure if the date is now May or June, because they wanted to bring their team video camera and they want to see the office. They want to see people working. We as the core team around Johan pick up all the questions, and we see everybody is asking the same thing. Is this real? I myself joined in October. I only joined because Johan was the owner of the business. We've been asking Johan since February in 2017 to start our own South African company. Dirk knows. Dirk has come down to South Africa. I think it was in 2018, Dirk? January, February?
Yeah,
Or
I was
was
there
it
3 times. I
2017?
mean, I did presentation Pretoria, Johannesburg, and also met you in Stellenbosch. So
that one presentation where we stayed at that guest house there in Pretoria.
yeah,
when was that? But nevertheless,
I think
during that time,
2017. That was one of the firsts.
I think during that time already we realized that if we always, and I'm talking as a South African member, we are always at the mercy of overseas people with bigger regulations and hiding away from us. We could never, up until today, with Johan as the only first true South African businessman. For us, it's very important. I'm sure for you in Germany, it's important to have German businessmen. But we know where Johan stays. We've been to his home. He's been a member of the same golf club for 30 years. He's not going anywhere. So if we see all and hear all these questions to sustain the reality of, is it real? And is it something that can still be there for 5 and 10 years from now? I can promise you every minute that I'm with Johan, we discuss future, we discuss the past, we ask questions as to why it does things in a certain way. And I get more and more confirmation that this is something that is sustainable for a long time to come.
Yep, thank you very much. So there's another question now from the chat. What indicators use the bot, like bowling bands, EMA, etc.? Can you say something about this? I mean, honestly, I have no clue what it means, but Johan, perhaps you know a little bit about these.
Sorry, I didn't see the question. The question is?
If we use Bollinger Bands, EMA, etc., what are the indicators they're using?
No idea. No idea. That is the trader's secret. That's like asking KFC what spices are you using in what quantities. If you have the spices that they're using, you know in what quantity. So we've got, I must be honest with you, nobody has any idea what the secret behind the trader is for his success. Otherwise, everybody would be making KFC at home.
Not me. I love Nando's more than KFC.
Yeah.
I have one more question.
Yes, sir.
Who is Konrad Rademann? He's also showing as director next to Johan. In the document, in that website that you gave.
Yeah.
When you click on director details, it says below Johan, Frederick Konrad Rademann, active director as well.
I must be very honest with you. That I need to ask Johan.
Okay, perfect. Good.
That I need to ask Johan.
I think
that must have been when he registered the company. That he added Frederick Konrad Rademann. I'm not 100% sure about that. We can ask that question to Johan and get back to you.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Good. Any more questions? I mean, now you really have the opportunity to ask really the heart of the company.
Last one from my side, but maybe we answer this next week in the trader call. Do you have a trading history before MTI used this software?
I've got trading results since they've been using the software, but I have got no trading results before, because as Johan told, the story is that when they started trading, roughly on the 15th of April last year, they were using live traders. And the live traders had a brilliant profit the first week, and good profit the second week, and by the fourth, fifth week, they had an 80% loss. So it was, as a normal Forex trader, a person goes with emotional trading, it's up, 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 down, and then up, 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 down again. So that's normal for normal Forex trading. But the results that I've got since the 26th of July 2019, that is trading results that's directly linked to the trading system.
Another question: do you have a MyFX book link to comprehend the results? Is it
currently not, due to the license agreement that was signed after the incident of all the copy traders that were basically, let's call it, stealing the signals from the trading. All access to any results were blocked by the traders, and they said not allowed until further notice. So Johan is really working hard to try and open a door again so that we can have some access. The recommendation was already made with the FX books to load the results, but I think that is still under consideration with the traders, and
you can block
himself.
stop loss, you can stop the profits and so on, you can stop open trades, close trades, and so on. Only the chart is there a possibility to?
That is currently on Johan's desk as a question. I've already raised it and asked him if it's possible. So I'll guess we'll have an answer on that very soon.
Okay, thank you.
There's also one more thing what Johan told me, is that he's planning perhaps to implement a kind of small like 5 minutes per day video or whatever, where you really see the real trades for just a few minutes in the dashboard, perhaps in the future, so that you will not see the full transparency, but at least, like, if you see 5 minutes or 2 minutes a day where you really see the live stuff, to also show what they're really doing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Good. More questions? Don't be shy. Okay, so if there are really no more questions, 3, 2, 1, then I would say thanks a lot, Jaco and Johan, Ignatius, everyone joining from South Africa. Really for 1.5 hours, really give us very good content, I think. What I will work as a next step, I will contact Asher to set up a meeting then also with the traders for next week or whenever I can make it happen. And then Simon, I will let you know whenever we can do it, and then we can try to arrange the proper timing. And yeah, but beside this, I think all my questions have been answered. Yeah, and as there are no more questions, then
Dirk, I just send a question there. If you can possibly just send me a recording of the Zoom session, I'll appreciate it for our records as well.
Yes, I will do. But it will take some time because Zoom is super slow until it's converted. I've seen this last time.
No problem at all.
Yep, I will send you as soon as it's done.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay, good. Then thank you to the South African team, and also thank you very much, Simon, all your team for joining and really having this high level of discussions here. And if there's any question, I mean, you all can also reach out to me, so I can also help with most of the questions. And I will let you know, or will Simon know, when we have the meeting with the traders, and then we can see the next steps.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Stay healthy.
Bye all.
Stay healthy, guys.
Bye.